Let's get this show started. Maybe how's it going?
Hey, going well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm gonna put a little music on in the background. We got a lot to talk about. It's been a week that has felt like a month, if not a year. I don't
A
know how
hundred
you feel.
percent. I
It,
feel great. Is this the music? Okay, no, I hear it now. This is the music. Just posting the link under my own account, so that people can watch on YouTube as well. And yeah, no, this week was incredible. If we go back to last week, we were talking about the OMB Mint, which was on Friday, and then we were talking about Book of Memes, and then
yeah,
a ton of other things happened.
pre-sales, all the pre-sales that
Yeah.
happened in between this last Thursday, this Thursday. We have the full list of things that we're gonna be talking about up on our Twitter. I'm gonna pull that up actually because I want everybody to know kind of like here's what we have in store for you today. Um, Alongside anything 10K ETF drops, we're going to be talking about Meby's experience with Slurf. If you don't know, Slurf was the now infamous meme coin where the dev burned $10 million worth of liquidity as an accident. We still don't know. Presale mania. We'll talk. Last week we talked about what to expect coming up in this presale mania, especially after Bohm. And when we were talking, Bohm was I think around 200 mil market cap, and of course, it went way beyond that. It got to 1.8 billion in market cap, which is nobody expected that.
Insane.
You also
Yeah.
have some ordinals getting hacked, and I think there's a nuanced discussion here about permissionless technology that I think is a really interesting conversation that nobody's talking about. And then we also, in a little bit, we have an interview with Emanuele, who's from Ordinal Studio,
If I
and
can
he'll be
tell you,
talking about his new.
Emanuele. Emanuele.
I'm sorry,
It's my
Emanuele.
brother's. It's my brother's name, so I'm pretty attached to that name.
Is it Italian?
Yeah, my brother's name is Emanuele. So
And no, is
that's
the name
that's how you
Italian?
say it. Yeah, yeah, in Italian, yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay. So I'll let maybe take it from here. Um, uh, and then also just totally random, but we'll talk about it in a little bit when we have. But we're a big fan of Game of Thrones, and the new trailer was released today, 6 hours ago. It's a 2.5 minute trailer, so we'll watch that together, like we normally do. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of what we're gonna be talking about. Maybe why don't we
Yeah,
start with Slurf? Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
let's talk about Slurf a little bit. Okay, so guys, it I got slurfed. It happened to me. I don't know. I didn't enter all these pre-sale. I was in. I'm still in Nick. I bought Nick like more than a week ago, when it
Yep.
launched. I think I entered a couple of other coins that then went to zero. And then I said, okay, I'm done. I don't know. I don't want to follow this. I think I'm not doing that well. I'm just gonna hold my Nick and believe in the choose rich mentality. And
Right.
and then just gonna do ordinals. There was the OMB mint as well, which was very expensive for me, so a lot of funds went there. And then this happened. I think it was Saturday, and in one of my group chats, this dropped and was like, there is this pre-sale if anyone wants to throw some soul. And I'm like, I told myself that I was done with this stuff, but I'm just gonna do it.
Right.
I'm gonna just do it because I entered the profile and it looked like, I don't want to say a word that it's absolutely like has nothing to do with this kind of things, but I will say it. It looked kind of legit because it was, I know that it kind of
Wait.
doesn't make sense, but it looked kind of legit because the account that was dropping it was like, I don't know, this account that already has been doing like other stuff. I don't know, some kind of decentralized protocol or something. Now I don't even remember completely, but it felt like there were devs that were already working on other tokens, other stuff for a long time, and now that they were dropping this. So I was like, okay, you convinced me. I sent my money here. I go to sleep, wake up the next morning,
Right.
and then
Right.
it was because it happened in the night, right? When I woke up, it was already like everybody was already talking about it.
Right.
It was early
Right.
in the morning. Yeah, then I found out. No, the first thing I found out, it was like, oh, guys, Slurf is at like this $1 million market cap.
300
Like,
million market
this
cap.
is crazy. And I'm like, wow. Like, I remember I sent something there, and they're like, yeah, but there is something else that happened in between then and now. The dev actually burned all of the tokens that were going to the pre-sale buyers. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh my god, yeah. So I just had to like accept it. I didn't even like want to like I wasn't even like jumping like space to space to just hear what they had to say. I'm like, the tokens are burned. There's nothing I can do right now. There's
Yeah.
literally nothing I can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, some of those things are very entertaining, and it was funny, honestly. And also the tweets like, oh fuck, and then pin tweet, oh fuck, like, guys, what are you doing?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
the,
so
the
this
gist
is
of
the
it,
story.
yeah, the gist of it is that in pre-sale mania, and we talked about it last week with pre-sale mania, a lot of people after Boom started launching pre-sales, and a lot of people are trying to cash in on this big wave, and people wanted the crazy um people wanted the crazy returns that people got on Boom. And so what happened was, and you know what? Hold on, let me just address some comments. Uh, Giorgio is saying, "Has the Sanyo's YouTube been hacked?" No, 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 no. Don't worry. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to be speaking to Emanuele. Did I get that right?
Emanuele,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, there we go. We're going to be speaking about his upcoming mint and some of his past work on Ordinals. So worry not, nobody's been hacked. I'm Atare. That's Meby. If
Hi.
if you're new, this is the damn show. Um, but the gist of it is that a bunch of back to Slurf, a bunch of money was essentially supposed to go to people, and it got burned by accident, and that became a huge meme, and a bunch of people got on board. If you did lose money, most of the exchanges that are listing Slurf, like um, I think there's Bybit, I want to say there's L.I.B.E.R.T.A.S, they're not taking any of the money on sales or fees, and they are giving it back to people that lost money. And so I think over time, as the trading volume picks up, and it has picked up, people will get some part of their money back. And so that's kind of the Slurf story. Maybe why don't we jump into the next story, and I want to let you lead this one because I think this is
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, because we have Emanuele waiting here in the green room. So, so today we have a great guest. Emanuele Dascanio is a very famous artist. It was already a famous artist outside of Web3. But more than a year ago, it was like February 2023, he got interested in Ordinals. So we can talk about him as one of the Ordinals OGs.
Right.
And inscribed some important pieces of art. And then founded Ordinal Studio with Damiano. Let's bring up Emanuele. Oh, sorry. Hi,
Hello?
Emanuele. How are you?
I don't hear you.
Why?
I don't know why.
What's happening?
Oh no. Can you hear me or no? No,
I
you can't
don't hear
me, right?
nothing. Don't hear nothing.
I'm gonna message you on our private chat.
Yeah.
Check we'll get you off. We're gonna let you handle that in a second. I thought you could hear us earlier.
Yeah,
But
before you could hear us, and now no.
you might even just want to we're speaking as if he can hear us. I was saying he's gonna refresh your screen and come back. Maybe why don't you pull up your some of the art pieces and give a little bit more context to Emanuele.
So here you can see the first piece that he actually inscribed. Let me see. Yes, this one.
Now better. Nice
Can
to
you
meet
hear us now?
you.
Hey.
It's beautiful to be here with you.
Hi, Emanuele. So I'm showing here. I think this was your first inscription.
Yes, exactly.
It was inscription 161,305. Wow, which is a very, very early inscription. And here you can see Emanuele and one of your art pieces. First of all, congrats. you're an incredible artist. This like your art looks like, I don't know, it blows my mind. And yeah, this was the beginning of your Ordinals journey. So my question here is, you're a famous artist outside of Web3. So what brought you to Ordinals? Why you chose to inscribe these pieces?
First, thank you for your compliments. I approached the Ordinals because before to start to invest in Bitcoin, I tried to build an art that was very, very similar. This was in 2019, very similar to NFT. How it's built, the NFT in Ethereum.
Yeah.
Then, because I was ready and with the open mind, I understand what it was, the NFT and the potential, and I moved and switched from the physical artwork to the digital artwork. Because I needed in that period, it was, COVID, I need in that period to become scalable. Everybody started to digitalize themselves. I was very active in social media. I have large amount of followers that follow my work, and I totally need to reassemble myself in that period. And I discovered this way to digitalize the art, the physical art. Without blockchain, I'm sure I could never start to digitalize. Only because the art live with his identity in the blockchain. For me, it's possible to adopt the digital aspect of the art. Without, for me, it's totally unuseful to do it. So, this is very funny. It was the early stage of 2019, and I asked to Giacomo Zucco, that I know well, look, Giacomo, what is possible to try to mint an NFT on Bitcoin? Maybe using the RGB. No, it's impossible. And of course, I say, okay, but I was totally ready to enter in Bitcoin and mint something there. So I always put an eye there in some news to see maybe someday we can. And in fact, in January, I discovered that Radarmo too, but I was a developer and I don't know how to inscribe. The moment that arrive a website, so a user experience for my level, very beginner, I inscribed it. And so in this moment, I was on the airplane when they described this picture.
Yeah.
Because Damiano, my business partner, told me, hey, look this, finally you can mint. And I say, I'm on the airplane, I have to go. And in fact, I clicked to inscribe, and the airplane go, and I switched off the internet, and I didn't know that I really inscribed it, and I don't know nothing in this period. And it was beautiful. I described this artwork, this picture, just to exist in blockchain. For me, it was only important to exist in blockchain. It's not for sale, it's only to exist. It's pure act of existence. And now I'm resilient in Bitcoin blockchain. That for me, as artist, is the medium more sophisticated and exactly resilient, not censorable, ever made. Better than the painting, better than the oil and canvas. If
Wow.
you talk about the artwork that live over the art.
And then Emanuele, you inscribed also this other piece, which is a cursed inscription. And can you talk a little bit about this piece and the L.I.B.E.R.T.A.S drop?
Yes. Okay. This is. Yeah, I will try to be short. This is a cursed piece. It's on 101. It's made on an uncommon Satoshi 2009. It will be telebridged. It's property of Damiano, my business partner. We start to be friends with the business partner, but he was my collector at the beginning. It is my collector, and like this, cursed on uncommon Satoshi exists only 6 pieces in the entire blockchain of Bitcoin, and this is the only one-on-one fine art. Plus, the cyberpunk helped us a lot, and I glorify the cyberpunk for this reason, because it's not only a video on Bitcoin. We use the technology invented by L.I.B.E.R.T.A.S, that is a genius of developing, and he invented a kind of protocol that permits to inscribe in one Satoshi the maximum quality ever made. So this video is currently the largest high definition in sound and video piece made in Bitcoin. With his, I love to call no file size limit protocol for invented by L. And then this piece, it's in parent-child with Satoshi extremely rare, because it exists only one Satoshi like this in the entire blockchain, because it's nominal, and this Satoshi, it was gifted to Ordinals Studio by currency from L.I.B.E.R.T.A.S. And the Satoshi is only one in the blockchain because it's called be deserving. So it's one of these Satoshi nominal. And we inscribed into be deserving what I think is the manifesto for an artist in general. Freedom. An artist has to be free and have to research the freedom and have to be brave to research the freedom. And when I looking for digitalize my artwork, I was super scared because I go totally out of my comfort zone, but I wanted to totally follow and obey to this. You must be deserve to be free. And how an artist could deserve to be free? No, only if he is brave and is brave to be in front of the people. We throw his art.
Yeah. And Emanuele, you guys then dropped this collection, right? That it's associated with that first piece.
Exactly.
It was like 4 months ago, if I'm correct, right?
Exactly. The first wave was in December. We dropped the entire amount of the collection. The limited edition is 630 pieces. It means 3 times 21, like the Bitcoin supply. It's a kind of esoteric number. And why 3? Because it's really different level of rarity, but it's a double rarity. The architect behind this rarity, it's Damiano. And the rarity is made by the combination of the color, the symbols, the lack of symbol, the lack of colors integrated with the Satoshi. And the Satoshis are 630 palindrome that was provided by I'm sorry. Now I
one of your collaborators. Yeah, it's okay. No problem if you don't remember the name.
And so together with this artwork, we Quarry, yes. Quarry is super important.
Quarry. Okay, Quarry Sats. Yeah.
I have my artistic lack of mental. And so, together with the 630 pieces and the one-on-one, we have also inscribed the documentation, the narrative behind the meaning of the artwork itself, because it's a big project. Now, the first wave was 120 pieces. The second wave that will arrive very, very soon, it will be 510 pieces.
Okay.
And will be revealed the entire data reality. Right? And this is only the beginning, because while the early adopter, the collectors, will obtain one of L.I.B.E.R.T.A.S, at least one, they will receive a lot of benefit in the future from Ordinals Studio. Ordinals Studio and L.I.B.E.R.T.A.S are strictly connected, because from few years until now, from 2018-19, I wanted to push my idea of art that is a kind of mix between art, pure art, so using all the various medium, and how to say? I want to say now in English.
You can tell me in Italian. I will translate.
Okay, entrepreneur in English. Okay, entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. Okay. Yeah,
Say,
yeah, yeah.
I'm not an entrepreneur. I would love to be, because in my opinion, we have three different levels of artists that make art. The art level, what I made, the entrepreneurship, it means that you create something new from zero, but that people benefit. You create a job, you change the world. And then you have the charity, another level. So you are an entrepreneur, but for free. No? So the three different levels integrated. I want to mix and merge the first two level. So Ordinals Studio is totally a company. My company is placed in Dubai, and the vision behind Ordinals Studio is not to let enter artists into Bitcoin, but let go outside Bitcoin from the Web3. Permit to the Web2 artists or not artists, people that create the best and the top intellectual contents to adopt Bitcoin. Why? Bitcoin is a chain, and the chain is made historically with the movement of the people that use it, that use this chain. So if you zoom out, you can see the history of humanity, the trade. Okay, what happened with this protocol that Casey invented? If we zoom out, we can see the picture, the photography of the humanity that needed to use Bitcoin blockchain to try to be free, to try to express themselves. This is what I want, and I propose with Ordinals Studio, because the supply is very limited, we have to inscribe very responsible.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the artists know how to do one stuff: create a picture, also sound, also writing, also how to act. I want to let enter into Bitcoin only the best from the entire art industry. The 7 arts, fine art, photography, cinema, theater, music, literature, but also everything. I would love to help the best artists to use it. And this is Ordinals Studio. It's not a platform. You can say it's a kind of hub. It's a kind of brain with all the parts are connected all together and described into the blockchain. But come back, one step back. It's also an artwork, Ordinals Studio. Why? How I thought, how it's figuratively, I can expose Ordinals Studio, how it's made, artist by artist, in one picture into museums, when the picture will be enough ready. Because it's a kind of evolutive vision that appear really digitally, but you can see using the parent child.
Yeah.
So you can see this evolutive tree that growth artist by artist by after artist during the time, and this it's a kind of artwork. And I want to pose Ordinals Studio exactly everywhere. Now Ordinals Studio is made by also its collectors, people that take part of this humanity because they love to have it and they give something back. So it's a kind of a lovable approach. This is what it's in.
It's a give and take, and you have this relationship with your collectors. Emanuele, I think it's great what you guys are trying to do. I like the manifesto. I like that there's going to be all this provenance created around these pieces. We were very happy to have you here today, and I wanted to ask you if you have like anything else you want to say before we let you go. We know, obviously, as you said before, that you guys are dropping the rest of the pieces very soon. Probably you don't have a date yet or any other, but if you have any more information that you want to give us right now, please let us know.
No.
Still nothing.
It will be released
Yes.
in our Ordinals Studio, but also in our private account in Twitter, step by step. Yes. And
Okay,
so,
so
Meby, thank you very much, and congrats with your book that I saw it's in yes, in
thank
Hollywood.
thank you. Yeah, that's another life though. That's another life. Thank you, Emanuele. And yeah, we are gonna have giveaway on our Discord for we're gonna give away some very precious spots for this drop on our Dam Show Discord server, and yeah, like it's probably gonna be in the next weeks. We don't know yet exactly, but guys, we got you covered. So thank you, Manuel, again for being here. And yeah, have a good night. I know if you're in Italy, it's good night, right?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much, my friends.
Thank you,
See
everybody.
you.
Bye
Bye, bye.
Bye. There you have it. So check out Ordinal Studio, like maybe mentioned. Uh, there is going to be it's a very limited collection, only a few hundred, I believe, coming out. That's going to add to the collection, and we'll have some of those precious spots to give away in our Discord. If you haven't already, head to our Twitter and um, join our Discord, because we've been doing giveaways pretty much like the last few weeks. We've had 4 or 5 different giveaways. Um, our Discord is, for the people that don't know, let me pull it up for everybody.
Yeah.
Our Discord is or not our Discord, sorry, our Twitter, where you can find the Discord, is the damn show _. So go ahead and check that out right over here. Join our Discord and then do all the things, and you'll get on some list. Now, we're probably gonna get a tweet and 10K in just a couple minutes, so I'm gonna be wary of that. But we also we also had a giveaway yesterday from Space Nation, and so our friends over at Forge Network gave us some spots, and it was a fairly quick one because you had to do some things before before pretty much today noon. So those spots went fairly quickly, and we had to only do a 12-hour giveaway. But Space Nation is a I'm going to pull up a video right now. It's a new game, and it's being built on Immutable. And let me see what I can get here. I want to show you guys a little bit of like what they're cooking up. And so there's a mint for this tomorrow. So let's take a look over here. Let's do that.
Still, those of us who could fought, so that most of humanity could evacuate Earth. In the end, all we could do was buy time. Time to get to Oikos. Time to run. We gave everything. This is not our end. We are Space Nation.
So you'll see it's a Web 2 and Web 3 game. It's giving me very much Halo vibes. I don't know if you were growing up with Halo, maybe, but I was. That was Halo 3. Incredible. Xbox, no scoping people. 100%. I was doing that. I was there.
I didn't play, but my brother used to play a lot, so I'm pretty like
So
familiar, yeah, on how
Yeah.
it looks, and yeah.
So this is minting tomorrow, and closed beta is on April 1st. So, and this thanks to our friends at Ape Accelerator. So Ape Accelerator obviously is by Harry and the team at Forge, and they had an AIP pass last year that allowed them to build a launch pad. It's a cool thing, because now if you have and I'll pull it up on our Twitter. If you hold any sort of ape coin, or if you hold Bored Apes or Mutant Apes, you can get access to launches that are specifically for them. And so there's different tier mints, and you're able to get in fairly early in the process if you have a Bored Ape or a Mutant Ape. And then if you hold ApeCoin as well, you get an allocation. And we have, you'll see down here, we're able to get Friends tier, which drag that over. it's the third one from the on the left. So it's partner NFT collections that are able to mint this. There's only 300 of these, and it's a it's 0.3 ETH, so it's not anything. It's nothing to joke about. But
Yeah.
with only 300 and a lot of people being eligible, board apes, mutant apes, and kennel holders, you get what you'll get is a Prime Navigator PFP. You'll get special achievement and bonus OIK distribution, which is their Web3 element. Um, that's their token that they're going to be dropping. And typically, like if you're getting a token, especially if the game has a lot of traction, I think that's going to be a fairly good thing. And then you'll get whitelisted tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 mining shipments and more. So that's thanks to our friends at Ape Accelerator and Forge for this mint. We're going to be having a lot of these guys. We're going to be having a lot of these. Grailed get bronze. There you go. Bam Bam just said it. Grailed also get bronze. So, and yeah, KYC is required. I think this is a
Yeah.
new Animoca thing where it's like you just
Mhm.
have the KYC. We saw this with the Rec League as well, which for me I was like very I don't know about this, but I think anything coming out of Animoca, they're trending towards that because I think the regulation around that is very different now. So
Yeah.
it's something to keep in mind. And bronze tier, if you have 400 ape or another deed expanded, or you have the Grailed NFT, which is obviously our collection, you get access to this as well. So lots of things coming. We got a lot to talk about. VZ saying would have been nice for some notification about Grailed. I think things will get there. What do we have next? Maybe we
Well,
gotta
I mean, we talked about Slurf, but like I don't know how much we went
talk
into the
about pre-sale
pre-sale.
mania.
Yeah, the pre-sale
We
mania.
gotta
But
talk
it
about
seems
pre-sale
like it's
mania.
kind of like going a little bit down now. Like people are, it's cooling off a little bit after all this huge rucks.
We got to talk about pre-sale mania. Okay, guys, look. Last week we talked about. I had an essay from a year ago that I'm like, the laws of physics and derivatives are the exact same. They're the exact same. I reworked that essay, so I'm gonna go through that one again because it's much more current. And this was in the middle or at the very beginning stages last Friday of pre-sale mania. But here is that for anybody that missed it last week. Let me go through it right now, really quickly. So, all right, the value of derivatives. Market dynamics follows the laws of physics more than you realize. For example, the value of meme coins and their derivatives. The price action for these closely follows the law of energy conservation. Maybe you ask, well, what is the law of energy conservation? Well, let me tell you,
Yeah.
maybe Netta. When you bounce a ball, when you bounce a ball,
What happens?
right? She's so curious, guys. I gotta let her know. When you bounce a ball, the initial energy applied is always yields the highest bounce. Can we agree on that? Is that fair? You bounce a ball, the first bounce is
Yeah,
the
I
highest.
think that happened in my life sometime. Like when I bounce a ball,
Okay,
usually.
so
Yeah,
I would say
I
99.
remember that happening. Yeah.
You remember the diagram. If you don't know what we're referring to, we're looking at H0 is you holding the ball and you bounce it. H1, that's the highest bounce. Yes, out of all the other bounces, is that the highest? H1, can you confirm?
I confirm.
Okay, great. Let's move on. And without new energy introduced, each subsequent bounce is always lower than the previous, and this goes all the way down to zero. That's the law of energy conservation at work. And my thesis is the value of derivative meme coins, NFT collections, whatever you want to call it, it works the exact same, guys. There's no difference. So when I wrote this on when we talked about Bohm on Thursday, the market cap was 200 million. The day after, which is when I published this, the market cap was 650 million. The day after that, the market cap ran out all the way up to $1.8 billion. So Bohm kicked off the Solana pre-sale meta, and it reached an insane market cap of then 650 million in just a couple days. Now pre-sales are popping up everywhere because everybody's like, oh, people are sending money. I think there's an opportunity because people are going to be looking for the next play. But remember, each new coin is a derivative of Bohm, so its value will always be lower than the original. That's like a law. I think if you follow that law, you're going to do very well. So each new derivative is another bounce of the ball, bound by the upper limit of the first. Most of these will go to zero as value keeps going back to the original, which is BOEM. This was true of Open Edition Meta, kicked off by Jack Butcher. It was true of 2023 meme coin mania that started with Pepe.
Mhm.
What are all the derivatives of those worth now? Close to zero. So which will you pick? Second or third or fourth derivative or the original? That's kind of like the thesis, right? Now, Galga mixing meme coins and laws is a funny sentence. I completely agree. Other Not is not happy. He says derivatives suck. But now we can actually, now that we've seen it play out, we can actually go back and look at historical data from just the last week and look at some of the top meme coins that launched on Solana, and we can compare now. So let me pull up. Why don't we start with BOEM as the original? So BOEM, here's what BOEM did. I'm going to go to the 1 hour chart so you guys can see. So you'll see here that, shot all the way up to, compare that to market cap right there. Boom. So shot all the way up to 1.6 billion. So not quite 1.8, but 1.6 billion. Or actually, no, long story short, but this thing is always off by 200 million. So it got up to 1.8 billion. And then started the natural slide down, which is not normal. And if I go to the ruler here, we can actually see exactly how much it went down. So it dropped down almost 70%.
Oh wow.
So it dropped down almost 70%. And then now it's recovered by, if I go back to where it is currently, it's recovered by about 60% from the bottom over there, right? So if you bought in right there, you'd be up 60% on what you invested in. So that was that. But let's talk about Small. Small was a big one that launched today, and its market cap, let's see here, its market cap reached 220 million, and now it's all the way down to 83 million. They raised, for context, they raised 160,000 SOL, which is about 30 million. BOEM raised 10,000 SOL, which, do the math on that, 10,000 times 200 approximately, about 2 million. So a fraction of the money raised, and the value, if we're going by market cap, did not reach anywhere near that. There was also, maybe remind me, there's Slurf. So we had Slurf. Let's go to market cap. Slurf got all the way up to 700 million, and now it's at about 300 million. There's Shrooms that launched.
Shroom, yeah.
Which was,
I know that one. Yeah.
this one was supposed to be fairly hyped and legit, and that was my prediction. See, I was like, it's gonna do this, guys. Kind of as a joke. I was on a video call with some buddies. It did not do that. You cannot predict this shit.
Yeah.
And this one it was sniped early on, which is why you have this candle. So that's not even a real market cap. But if we go to the second candle, 74. If we go to the third candle, 48. So pretty more or less, like, if you miss the law, the rule here is, if you miss the initial, you can make money on the derivatives later on. However, you are bound, and you will just know that it's not going to do the same thing that initial did.
Yes, I actually agree with VZ here when it says I love derivatives. I know
Yes.
to sell and not hold. It's actually true. Like I completely agree with this, because many times these derivatives really pump. Like
agreed.
they have a good pump, but like you understand that, like, why would I hold this? For which reason?
You got to be way quicker.
So you have to be quicker, but at least I don't have the doubt that I might hold this. No, I'm just like, you just have to get out of this, okay?
Yeah.
Get out as soon as you can.
Literally.
Take your money,
movie, get out.
and move on to the next thing. So it's kind of like a good way also for like experienced, let's say, or a little bit more experienced traders to make a little bit of extra money, because you kind of know that that's going to happen. You have seen it happening many times, and we have seen it for NFTs as well. NFTs, Ordinals. Now it's happening everywhere. There are derivatives of bigger projects that actually pump for a little bit, for like a couple of days, and then
PMB, Puppet Maxi Biz being one of them.
Yeah, that was like that was a good flip, for example.
It was a great flip. Yeah.
It was
So
it went pretty high. But
I guess the point here is that it's not about not engaging with any of these derivatives after the fact. Um, it's more like knowing your time horizon, and it's not chasing everything else. Because I think what a lot of people, kind of a frenzy happens, especially for the people that miss the first thing. They get in a bit of a frenzy of like, I need those returns somewhere else, and you start chasing, and people, and then even like there's scams, there's rugs. We haven't even talked about, because I think there's 30 different pre-sales that launched, if not more. Some of them are scams, some of them are rugs, some of them go to zero very quickly. So it's like, it's not even that every derivative is going to have a pump. Like there's a lot of factors that go into it. And so for me, it was getting into Bohm and staying in it. I was like, I'm going to be very disciplined this week, because the allure of all these pre-sales is going to be like magnetic. It's like, we're going
Mhm.
to raise this much and we're going to do that and that and that. In total, I only ended up going into 2 more other pre-sales when there's about 30, 40, 50 of them that honestly were launching on Solana anyway. Right. I did shrooms, and then there's another one that I did. I can't remember what it was, but I was fairly disciplined. I didn't get into small. I didn't get into, slurf. Just I was very like, okay, I made a bunch of soul. Maybe I can have more returns, and if I chase a little bit more. But I'm also like, the chances of that are diminishing each time, and so
Yeah.
you need to like remain disciplined and not let the emotions or the hype of the people around you as well get into the frenzy of it all, because that dictates a lot.
Yeah.
So
There's people that sent like 100 soul to this Slurf thing.
yes,
Like
people that sent I saw people that sent a 500, and what somebody sent 1,000,
crazy.
and that's gone. That's completely gone. The other thing I want to say about Slurf is that I'm seeing a lot of activity around Slurf where people do think that it's going to pump, and some people think it's going to flip boom. And what I'll say is that the original thesis of like derivatives, it remains true as long as no new energy is introduced.
Mm.
And right, because if you bounce a ball and you don't put any new energy, it's gonna always stay. But if somebody comes and like kicks it, or pushes it again and introduces new energy, then it's gonna go in a different direction, and it's gonna maybe bounce higher. And I think what happened with Slurf, with the $10 million getting burnt by accident, and the oh fuck, and the memery of it all, I do think that that's new energy that has put it on a separate path that's not fully aligned with, like,
That was original.
that
Like
was original.
what
Exactly.
happened was
It
original. It
was
didn't
very
happen before.
exactly. And
Yeah.
so that's like a new energy, even though it came from the derivative of Bohm, that was new energy that didn't exist before, and people are like really memeing it. And so that's another frame that I think about as well.
Yeah.
It's not always just like you're always bound by this. It's that somebody can come in as a derivative and do something different, have new energy get introduced, and it can ride its own wave. And now Slurf is riding its own wave, because we saw how massive the oh fuck tweet, when people are like, this is
Yeah.
top 5 crypto tweet
Yeah.
of all time, next to like SPF's one what and all that stuff. So
Yeah, and that's, as someone that put money in the pre-sale, that was exactly my thought. It was like I put money into this pre-sale and didn't get anything, and then it pumped like crazy. But
yeah,
then I thought, what if this never happened
yeah,
and I would have gotten my allocation? What would have happened to this coin? It probably wouldn't have done anything.
agreed.
Probably wouldn't have done anything. So I I lose. And like, of course, it would have been better to not send money anyway at all, and keep my money in my pocket and not losing like that.
Yeah,
But in case they would have got it right, I think it wouldn't have gotten where it went.
yeah,
So the fact that they fucked up was the entire narrative that pushed the coin where it went.
exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly. Also, I just want to say, Raleigh is so goddamn quick. 48 seconds ago. It's the first. This guy is on it. Do you have a bot? Have you coded this? You are so damn fast with this. Incredible.
Incredible.
Everybody
Yeah.
give him a little bit of love. How is this guy so quick? Shout out to Raleigh. All right. What do we got here? Okay. There's a
Mhm.
lot going on here.
Yeah. Let me
Okay.
see. Let me see.
Wagmi-san is tossing 10 KTF stuff, or sorry, NTech stuff in the Garbaggio. He's cleaning up the shop. He's like, goodbye, goodbye, right?
We got bonsai Nate.
Got a bonsai Nate tree, of course. The
Yeah.
tea is also back. Complaints 10 KTF shops. There's a lot of complaints that are coming in actually
Mm-hmm.
to do, and it says to do. We got to address a lot of complaints.
Mm.
He's getting the water ready to go. It's hot. It's steamy. He's like, I gotta get back to business. Hey, Wagmizan, if you're tossing away some of those N-Tech outfits, I wouldn't mind that jumpsuit from last year's event. I wouldn't
That
mind
was
it.
really cool. Yeah. Yeah. He's tossing that stuff. Look, it's
If
just,
you're gonna throw it away, then
what are those pants? And
why don't you just bring it on my way?
we want the merch.
Bring it on over
Always.
here, and we'll take care of that. We'll give it a nice home. A lot of complaints. Maybe there have been complaints. There's no denying that.
Yeah. There's no denying that. There's no denying of let's just say it. What is the number one reason for the complaints?
Floor price down.
FP.
ETH NFTs are in
FP.
a recession.
It's always FP, floor price.
Yes. Yes.
That's the reason. Number one in any community, go in any Discord ever in your life. And the FUD is always associated with that. When price is up, everybody's happy, right? So yeah,
Actually, well, hold on. Maybe before you say anything more, I just want to riff off of that because I think there's we're gonna go back to our old friend Excalidra. I don't know if you remember.
okay. Yeah.
Remember, this was I always like to go back to this because I should put a date. I should put a date on these because
Yeah. We
remember
should
this?
inscribe them on Bitcoin.
These need to be inscribed on Bitcoin, low key. We have this one. We have the classic OMBs right over here. Wow, look at it. Look at my hair. It looks very different. Very, very different. Much longer. But we came here with the purpose, and the purpose was, remember this diagram? It's the pump and the dump. And if you are on the right side of the curve, which is actually the left side of the screen, the right side being the correct one, left side of the screen, you'll have FOMO. If you're on the right side of the curve, you will have FUD. And depending on, like, if you bought on the right side, if you're over here, right, you're one of these, right, and it's dumping, you're not happy. And unhappiness needs to, like, somebody needs to answer for this. And if somebody needs to answer for this, then scapegoats are made in the community. People get angry, and a lot of madness, crazy stuff happens. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing right now. I do want to say though, it's not that everything in Ethereum is pumping, except let's say 10 KTF.
It's dumping, you mean?
No. I'm saying it's not that everything else in Ethereum is pumping and 10
Oh,
KTF is dumping. It's that everything across the board, by and large, on ETH NFTs have been dumping, especially, and I think the Magic Eden, marketplace, in a sense, accelerated that because a lot of liquidity that was there via Blur farmers was lost. Which huge debate still of like, what's the ultimate point of Blur? Is it dumping? Is it pumping? Or is it helping? Is it hurting? And there's no denying that when you remove liquidity, a size L1 liquidity, floor prices are going to drop. And so I think there's things are not fun in NFT for ETH. But everything else, ordinals are doing good, meme coins are doing well and all that. And so I think it's like people will keep saying the money is going to flow back to Ethereum XYZ, but it's like, I don't know. I really don't know. There has to be a catalyst for this. But that's what I wanted to say, because what you were saying was floor price dictates the vibes in a community, and I was reminded of our wonderful drawing from months and months and months ago.
Yes, and as you said, it's happening to almost every collection. I think there were like just a couple of collections that were not dumping hard on ETH. I think Milady's and some, like, a couple of more, but a similar vibe.
Ladies.
I think they're the only ones that are really like still alive and still doing okay. I don't know if you saw what happened with CloneX.
Right. The Nick NFT Nick had a rumor that they're gonna get axed very soon by Nike.
Yes, exactly.
Why don't we play that video, because I think that's relevant here.
Yeah.
go to.
I'm going to Blur in the meantime just to see floor prices because I don't check them that often, honestly, on Ethereum.
Okay, let's see. Pull that up. Pull up. Let's see what you
1
got.
billion. Good morning from New York. 2 years ago, Nike acquired crypto fashion brand Artifact for a reported $1 billion sum, choosing to make Artifact's founders incredibly rich. Now, according to our sources, Nike's shutting down Artifact this year. Will that be a poor choice? I'll leave you to decide. Good morning from New York.
I'm here. That's yeah.
Face.
It was like it cracks me up. It was so
Funny
funny.
guy. Funny guy.
So yeah, also Shigen saying Memeland stuff doing okay. Yes, Memeland is like has been able to hold up pretty nicely. Not like the other NFT collections. So we have like I would say Pudgy Penguins, even it tanked from their all-time high. It's still I think in a kind of a good spot considering where they were during the bear. So it's not like Bored Apes that they were much higher the entire bear and now they're going down
Yeah.
recently. Pudgy Penguins had like a pretty good run recently.
I just noticed right now, but Pudgy's today they recovered a bunch. You see
Yeah.
everything pumped in the last 24 hours. Pudgies are up 37%, Little Pudgies 31%. Even Bored Apes up slightly up. EGOD's up 24%, but it's almost a non-news now of Pudgies being higher than Bored Apes. It's kind of just like whatever. We already
Yeah.
a bunch.
Let me see. This is trending though. Let me see here. Top. Okay, we got Miladies here for ETH.
Right.
Azuki's for
Units are up
17.
10%, 9% on the day. Moonbirds are up 13%. Interesting. Very interesting. But
Let me pull up Clonex because I'm not able to find it here.
right.
Let's see what because they're 0.57. I remember last time I checked that I was kind of interested in it. Didn't want to buy, but I just want to like monitor. They were at like 1.2 or something like that. And it was pretty recently. So
Right. So
yeah.
they're up 7% or 8% in the last 7 days, but overall, I think everything is so down bad from the mania that was 2021 and 2022 that I said it. I was like, ETH NFTs are in a recession, and a recession meaning things are shrinking, capital is leaving. When overall capital in ETH NFTs, let's call it, is shrinking, then naturally all floor prices are going to bleed across the board. You compare it to something that's expanding and growing, like Ordinals or even like Solana, meme coins, etc. That's where capital is flooding because I think sometimes things get lost. We get lost of like, well, why did we initially get interested in this space 2020 2021? And I think it was the main reason is like there's an opportunity and the game is like, what's your high score? And the high score is how much Solana or Bitcoin or Ethereum have you accumulated, right? You ape into an NFT because you may think that like you buy it and you have a shot at multiplying your ETH faster than if you were just holding Ethereum or staking it or anything like that, right? So anytime you buy something, you're essentially staking it, right? You buy a meme coin because you're like, if I buy it and I'm early and it gets a lot of attention, I've essentially staked my Solana to get a 400% ROI, APY ROI, whatever you want to call it, um, versus like a 7% if you stake Solana on the validators, right? Because you're doing the same thing. You're just giving it away, and you're saying it's going to grow. The high score is like, what was your wallet value at the end of the day? And I think all the other things, it's like, quite frankly, all the other stuff comes secondary to that. And so I think like when you look at a lot of the complaints in the Clonex community, people were saying that they feel more like customers rather than holders. But it's like, well, Nike bought you, and Nike has shareholders of the company, and this becomes another branch for them to sell shoes, which is kind of what they've been doing in a sense, right? They have been giving NFTs, but it's like, um, you know, the whole diminishing returns also applies. Never will a derivative within a collection surpass the initial collection. So Clone
Yeah.
X will have the top value, and all the boxes and whatever they've been airdropped will never be higher than that. Same thing kind of is applying here as well. And so I
Yes.
think like in the context of all this, it's like, of course, the vibes are going to be down and bad. I think in collections, even in Bored Apes and Mutant Apes, it's like it's not the best vibes comparatively to other places, because there's a feeling of like somebody's doing something wrong here, because this should be increasing in value. Why am I holding this versus holding Ethereum? That's the big question I guess people are asking, right?
Yeah, and going back to the corporate side of it, I don't know if you heard, but Starbucks is also shutting
Yes.
down
Yes.
their program, which was a very well curated program, and the community was also pretty active. I was in, I think I have a couple of stamps, but because one of my friend Yuli, she was like very involved in it, so she like brought me in, but I wasn't like collecting everything. But when I was around in their Discord and stuff, things were pretty cool, like, and the way they were doing their drops and everything. But yeah, seems like also Starbucks is like it's over.
Yeah.
Ethereum NFTs and I don't know, maybe Web3 in general for now.
Right. So I'm just gonna go through some comments right here.
What is going on?
There's nothing we can do. No,
Hi guys, how hi
so
Obsidian, how did you get in here?
so there's high gas on ETH that's impacting it.
Mhm.
High gas high on Bitcoin though, so that's not necessarily it or all of it. I will say the high gas on Bitcoin is still a fraction of what you pay on Ethereum. It's
Yeah,
maybe like 20 to 50 bucks is the highest that I think I've paid for, like, and that's for inscribing, not even like
yeah.
buying, which is like 15 to 20 bucks. Um
Yeah,
uh
I've been spending like 20, $30 to just send ETH.
yeah.
Like not
Yeah.
even like smart
Bridge.
contracts or whatever.
Really? 30 bucks? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yes, I recently had to spend $30.
Crazy.
It was
Mental.
but yeah, pretty crazy. And yeah, no, on Bitcoin there are some moments where you see that the fees are high, but as you said, especially when you're inscribing, if I'm just sending Bitcoin from one of my wallets to another,
Right.
especially if I'm not in a hurry and I can wait a couple of blocks, just put like a fee that is a little bit lower, and I always like, I make it with like $5 or so.
Yeah. VZ saying in a tweet, I can see Wagmi pointing to an envelope with a gold seal. I think he gets offered a job in the other side. Shiggins with a very true comment. Yes, $30 is less than the other side mint. We don't talk
I
about
don't. We don't talk about other
we
side
don't
mint.
we had a
Yeah, we
rule,
don't.
Shiggins. We don't talk about that. That mint is gonna go down in history as, sorry, Yuga, the worst mint in the history of mints. Full stop. I I don't think anybody can argue that. It was, oh, see, I'm gonna go off again. I don't want to go off. We're over that. See, that's why
We're
Shiggins,
over it.
you
Yeah.
don't bring up the other
We
side mint.
want to be over it, but we kind of are not.
It's coming back.
Like,
I'm not over it. You see how I was about to just
oh, no,
go
2
ham? I
years.
was to go ham, and I was like, wait, stop. Not the time, Atari. Not the time. Not the time. Okay. There's an envelope. Some going
Let's
on
see
here.
it.
Yes, yes. This does not look like a complaint. I don't know what that means, but it means something, and he's going for it. And maybe there's good news in that envelope. I don't know. Maybe it's Alessandro's uh, predecessor. Is that what you call it? Successor?
A successor.
Successor. Predecessor. Successor. That is saying something's coming. We don't know. We do not know. Um,
Yeah.
Point to
That's so
where the
pathetic.
deeds hurt you, Atari. In my goddamn wallet, you pluribus, and you know it. And you know it. Don't even. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. Obsidian is now on our channel, so we can talk.
What is
All right,
going
all
on?
right, Obsidian. We're gonna address you. We're gonna address you. Well, let's explain.
This is kind of
Bruh,
funny though.
these guys hacked a channel or something, because they're streaming this same stream on a hacked channel they don't own.
We're not
My
we're not
my
actors, guys.
my brother in Christ. That is not what happened. We had on Emanuele for an interview,
Yeah.
and I didn't know this was going to happen, but I believe their team also decided to restream our stream on their YouTube channel.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
So
Okay, that's
so
what's up.
that's why you're watching this. So when the show ends, you can go back, or you can actually even go back now.
We didn't act
Um,
anything.
and
Okay, I don't want to
it-
be reported. Okay.
you could actually go back and see us interviewing him. For the record, I didn't know that their team was gonna restream our stream on their channel, but there was definitely some confused people
Yeah,
in our in our
by
chat
the
being
hacker.
like, they've been hacked. Who are these people, and why are they why are they hacking?
Yes, it was me. It was me.
I You're good. I understand the confusion, but I'm glad you found your way over to our channel. Maybe hit the subscribe if you're in the NFT space. We do have, if you're interested in Emanuele's art, we are giving away some whitelist spots to for his upcoming collection. So follow us on Twitter. You should just find it on our YouTube channel and join our Discord, and you'll be able to get access to. You might end up winning. You might end up winning. There's a tweet. I'm
Exactly.
aware. Let's go to it.
I'm aware. Let's see.
I was making a point. It was an important point. Okay. All right.
Interesting. Interesting. What's
Are
going
you
on?
already seeing it?
Yeah, I'm already seeing on my end. I see bad teeth ape on a backpack.
Okay. What's going on here?
Is that the general? No, that's not the general. The general has the
Okay, look, Wagmi-san, here's what's happening. Wagmi-san is putting the stuff back on the shelf. He's getting the shop back together.
Mm-hmm.
You see that's Wagmi-san's vehicle. He's got it repaired. It's in the garage. But I think what they're trying to say is that things are being restored to what we know of in the past. And so is the past, and we were all happy with the past. I can take you back to the graph of the FUD and FOMO, right?
Yeah.
But I don't need to, because you guys remember that. You know the lesson. So, like, bullish, I think, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like Wagmi-san is back and he wants to, he wants to run it back.
He wants to run it back. This is the first time we've seen Wagmi in a while as well, actually. I know we saw him breaking into the shop, but that was the last time that we saw him.
Yeah.
And I think he's restoring the shop. And now, look, we all know that there's a story behind this, so we got to look deeper than just what's happening on the surface. And so when I see this, what I see is them saying, we understand there's a lot of complaints. We also understand that, there was Entech took over and made us do things we didn't want to do. Now
Mhm.
Entech is gone, meaning we have more control, more, resources, right? And
Yes.
so we're going to repair the shop, and we're going to go back to the old vibes, and that's going to push us forward, right? That's kind of what I'm
Yes.
reading.
Yes, and no, 100% agree. What caught my attention, I saw also a comment, but I was already looking at it. It's the poster in the garage.
Tell me more. What do you see?
I see a Ninetales that has like
Trophy.
a trophy. Yeah, just won something like first place, and then you have two other people second and third place.
Hmm.
But like, what is it referring to?
Hmm. I don't know.
What is Ninetales winning?
I don't know. It's a very good question. Maybe that's the priority, right? That's a hint of like, hey, things are going to get prioritized again, right? We want,
Maybe
right?
car
Not
racing
sure.
game dropping.
Car racing game. I don't think so. That'd be a very left out of left field.
I don't know if there's gonna be more games coming, honestly. Besides like Dookie Dash, obviously that it's going, mobile, but
Right.
I think the everything like the energy is going towards that and pushing that game mostly. Ninetales story, we saw Ninetales story, the origins, and I don't know. I don't know, guys. Give us your opinion. I'm not sure. Do you have an idea?
Yeah, let us know. But in the meantime, we have a trailer.
Right. Yes.
We have a trailer.
Yes. Yes.
We gotta watch this.
Let's watch it.
I know we ran it
I
back.
didn't watch it yet.
Neither have I. This is gonna be brand new for me.
Okay, good, good, good.
Okay. All right. All right.
What you think, guys?
Only weeks ago, my lord husband was alive. And the realm was at peace. On his deathbed, he knew the realm would never accept a queen. Rhaenyra's supporters will believe what they wish. But Viserys wanted Aegon to succeed him.
They wish now not for the good of the realm, but for the satisfaction of vengeance.
Plot against the king, and I will pay it back 100 times over.
I'm as fearsome as any of them.
You have no idea the sacrifices that were made to put you on that throne.
My uncle is a challenge I welcome. If he dares face me.
We will prevail and bring forth peace. But you must accept that the path to victory now is one of violence.
Good. To war, then.
All my life, I've endeavored to serve both my house and the realm. And somehow none of it matters.
Hold to your courage for the one true king, Aegon!
My father chose me, his firstborn child, to succeed him. He held to his decision until death. And yet,
Alicent's son sits my throne. I mean to fight this war and win it.
The realm will soon tear itself apart. If men do not remember the oath sworn to King Viserys and to his rightful heir.
The Hightows are marching. You must crush this beast at its head.
Our terms are very simple. Renounce the false king and bend the knee to the king, or your house burns.
When the desire to kill and burn takes hold and reason is forgotten, we will not even remember what began the war in the first place.
We fight for our queen!
I feel what I've begun.
June 16th, we have a date. We have a date. We have a date. We have a date.
Oh my god,
Oh
it's
my
amazing.
God. That's still so far away. What is that? March, April, May, June.
Nah, it's just around the corner.
A freaking quarter. Oh my, 90
It's
days.
incredible. Oh my god, I'm so excited. It's crazy how Game of Thrones was like so incredible with the story and everything. Let's forget the
Yeah, I
you
don't
know,
want to talk about it.
we don't talk about that
No, no,
either.
no, no.
It's the same as Other Side Mint. We don't talk about that
We don't
part.
talk about it.
Okay. But how like they're making this like this prequel like so legendary. Like
Yeah.
the dragons fights are gonna be like
House of the Dragon, baby. And like, and I heard, I don't know what happens in the books, but I heard that season, in the same way that Dune Part 1 was the setup for Part 2
Mhm.
to absolutely crush it, I heard that season 1 is the exact same. So if you thought season 1 was like intense, I heard it goes up and just shoots in
Wow.
terms of just what's coming. That's what I don't know what happens, but that's yeah. So
Yeah, I also
season
don't know
2 is
what
going to be
happens. I didn't read it.
absolutely mental. Sunday nights, you know exactly where we're going to be between
I'm
June and
so
August.
excited.
10
Yeah.
episodes, 10 weeks, and I cannot fucking wait. How are my investments doing?
Super excited. Okay, thank you, Tara, for like finding that out because I didn't see that it dropped. So yeah, we had to watch it. We had to watch it.
Yeah, bull market is for House of the Dragon. Exactly. Imagine your coins are pumping and then the dragons are fighting. Like, what do you?
Best day
What
ever.
more do you want? What more do you want? Well, Wagmi-san is formally bringing the grill to New Tokyo in the form of important stories from his past. Where are we seeing this? Where are we seeing this?
Is it on? No, it's not on Discord.
I was it on Twitter. Maybe it's on 10ktf.com.
I still just see the Grailed.
Yeah, I don't see it.
You should let us know if Grailed announcement tweet.
Grailed announcement tweet.
Maybe it means like when they drop the collection, not a new tweet.
Oh, I see.
So an old tweet.
I see. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Ooh.
Wow, that was intense. I'm still recovering.
Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna be
still
a good time.
recovering.
What else do we have?
Honestly, I wanted to, before we close, I know that we talked a lot about meme coin and stuff, but before we close, I just wanted to touch on Pops because I think it's an interesting thing. So Pops is considered the first meme coin on Bitcoin.
Right.
That was dropped as a BRC20, and now they dropped to Puppets holders. They dropped this rune pops, which are like ordinals that are mining runes for when the runes come. But something interesting happened today. They actually allowed people to bridge pops from BRC20 to Solana. So now Pops is actually trading as a Solana meme coin, and it was interesting. I think there was I don't know. There was an interesting tweet from this morning because when this went live, Pops was at $600.
You could sell.
While
you could
as a
sell
BRC,
Pops for $600.
yes, while as a BRC20, it was a $4.20.
Hold on. Shigen just said something. Imagine Game of Thrones meme coins during the finale. You're buying coins on who you think would sit on the Iron Throne. Yeah. Or like if there's an episode where Rhaenyra just goes ham. Actually, before that show begins, we need to make meme coins for all the main characters, seed liquidity, and then just bet on who you think's gonna have the best season. Yo, this is a brand new. It's a brand new. It's the same thing as politics, right? But it's with Game of Thrones, dumping Jon Snow coins on idiots during the finale. Yo, that's a great idea. I'm gonna be looking out for that. Actually, that's incredible. Obviously, if you have read the books, then you know what's gonna happen. So then you know which one to buy. So maybe I need to read the book so I know which meme coins to buy while I'm watching, and my Rhaenyra coins are pumping.
My Rhaenyra coins. Yeah, like
Sorry.
I mean,
Get back to what you were saying.
It's pretty cool. Like, I think we would have fun doing something like that, but we might also lose a lot of money. I don't know. It seems like a fantasy football for meme, including meme coins and TV shows. Like, I don't know.
Exactly what it is. It's a global fantasy football league, but with real money and real stakes and anybody and devs that can dump on you and burn the liquidity. So
Yeah. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, I'm gonna show you something interesting here. So this is what happened this morning. As you can see, Pops, when it launched, it was like $700, like $600, $700.
Mhm.
And some people were actually able to sell for this price, which is insane. Because
mental,
for example, I have 500 Pops in BRC20.
right?
If I was able to sell 500 Pops for $600,
What is that? That's oh my lord, that's
it's a
$300,000.
lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
300.
So when this dropped, like some people that who had it like available sold, but then as you can see, there were to bridge the stuff, you had to wait like a couple of Bitcoin blocks. So people here were waiting for
Mm,
blocks to actually clear. And
right.
then when those blocks cleared, people started to sell and it just
Yeah,
dropped. And now it's at like $4.3, which is, I can show you also that
the CoinGecko, which is the price.
the BRC20, which I have it as well,
Right.
which is 423. So we're like the two prices now are the same, but like this morning it was insane. And it's, if you see this this
Ah,
pumping, it was people actually buying
I
it as a
see.
BRC20 to go then on Solana and
Right.
dumping there. So it
Which is
was like
actually because I woke
madness.
up and like because I'm gonna be buying some, and I don't like buying when everybody's kind of just talking about it, and
Look
so
at press. My pups were worth $1.2 million for
yeah,
45 minutes.
mental.
Yeah.
So I saw this morning. I checked the chart and I was like, oh, they're at $5. They were four something yesterday. Damn it! They keep going up because I'm waiting for just like I wanted to just cool down just a little bit. Because if it's everybody's still high off of the airdrop of the pups ordinals, because
Yeah.
I've been talking to maybe about like what position I want to have in this versus a few others runes as well, and I just saw that they jumped to 5 and I was like, fuck, okay, they went up again. Nice to know that this was a temporary demand because of the arbitrage that was available
Yeah.
on Solana. So
It was madness.
that's crazy. Did you try to bridge and try to dump on in the liquidity pool? Actually, you
Yes.
wouldn't you wouldn't be dumping on anybody. You would be more dumping into the liquidity pool.
But I wasn't doing myself. I asked for help. So someone else was doing for me
Yeah,
and trying. And then exactly when the block clears, I
yeah.
see
The
this
the
huge,
god,
yeah,
the red
the
candle.
red candle that
The
goes. I'm like,
gates
okay,
the gates were
game
open.
over.
Yeah, the gates were open.
Gates are open and the game is over. Like
Yeah,
you cannot play that game anymore. But the people that had it ready,
yeah.
because you had to make it transferable. There were like a
Right,
couple of steps that you had
right.
to do to release your BRC20 and then bridge it. The people that had it ready are the people that made that money. They made
And
good
those
money.
people probably had the heads up alpha that this is gonna drop at this. By the way, that's the game here, guys. Like, look, we do a show.
But I was very close, very close. So
Almost,
maybe almost. So
almost.
let's just keep trying. Like let's
Yeah, yeah,
let's
yeah.
not get like demotivated. Like we
100%.
can do it. Next time it's gonna be my time.
Look. How here's what I'll say. How I got into the bone presale was I was on a call with a bunch of people and somebody was like, "Hey, check a group chat." Somebody sent the link, um, or a tweet. Send soul to that. And I'd seen it before you mentioned it, but he like just happened to bring it up with me again, just being like, "Hey, go, trust me, do it." And I was
Do
like,
it. Hmm.
I did not spend any extra time looking into the artist. I was just like, okay, boom. I just sent a little bit of soul. I was like, whatever, cool, whatever. Next morning I woke up and it's absolute pandemonium, and then it was the craziest week. So it's like you're gonna have like it's like you're gonna have these opportunities to like have these really like moments where it's like you're gonna be able to like really win big. It's like I had no idea Like, I think if I understood a little bit more context of what BOEM was, then I would have been obviously one, sent more, but two, been more prepared for just what the madness was, because that was a complete surprise. It was just like, shit kind of happens all the time. And so I think it's like the more you're able to just notice patterns and trends, the more you're going to be able to like win and get outsized returns. Because that's the game in crypto, guys. Like, that is the game in crypto. Are you getting outsized returns? Are you positioning yourself? And like, that's the game we're here to play. You know, the game is boring if you're doing it alone. So we make friends along the way. The
Yes.
bunny cabal. It wasn't the bunny cabal. No, not the bunny
There's a
cabal.
lot of cabals though.
There's
Pick your
everybody has a
cabal.
cabal. Everybody has a cabal. Okay, find a cabal and
Yeah. No,
and
otherwise it's impossible. Like really,
yeah,
literally by yourself, it's
it's
very
game over.
difficult. Like
Yeah,
how do you know things and you either you never sleep, like never, and you're always like checking everything and you have like a million notifications from
and
different places, but it's very difficult anyway.
even if you find something, you still won't know if it's the right thing to ape into, because you could have seen the BOEM tweet, but it's like you're like, what is this? I don't know this guy, right? But if a
Yeah.
friend that historically in your cabal has a lot of really good calls, and he sends it, that's a totally different ballgame. They're like, oh, this
Yeah.
person is plugged in and he's sending it. I
Hmm.
need to pay attention because he's had very good calls in the past, right? Which
Yes.
was why I aped in, because I'm like, oh, this person has very good calls.
Yes.
Let me ape in. Why not? It doesn't hurt, right? It could go to zero. It could be,
100%. Yeah.
it could be something. And so I think like I'm seeing damn cabal, a
Damn
lot of
cabal.
damn cabal.
Well, we're
I mean,
trying a little bit. We're starting like we're trying to get some, spots for some projects that, as you know, guys, bull market is madness. I want to say it here openly. The spots that we're giving away for whitelists, sometimes they're going to do well, sometimes maybe they don't do well because we don't know. But
Yeah.
we're going to try to bring opportunities to you, and then you can then research and take your own decisions on this place. But we're trying. We want our community to also, play the game a little bit, no? Because I understand collectability. I understand we had Emanuele before. His art is amazing. I think some pieces, some inscriptions on Bitcoin are legendary, epic. They're going to be, they're going to have an intrinsic value, but that's just for specific things, specific pieces. All the rest, it's, the game we play with trying to, take some Bitcoin and make more Bitcoin, take some Solana and make more Solana from it, right? So
play the game, guys.
play
Play
the game.
Remember,
Collect what you like to collect. Yes, I love collecting, but if you play the game and you learn, you might also maybe
yeah,
win.
double down on why you came into this space 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whenever you came in. And if it was for collecting, then continue to collect, right? If it's market conditions, though, if it's to play the game, if it's to get outside returns, right? Then you got to play that game. And that game is going to shift many times under you. You're going to get used to Ethereum, and it's not going to be on Solana, and then it's going to be on Ordinals, and this and that and that and that. And you have to be able to adapt and stay curious and follow that curiosity, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard, is when you know that, oh, other people like me are probably feeling this too, and they're not going to do it. So let me do it. Let me go. Right. What I'll say is that I think I would say pay attention to Blast right now, because nobody's talking about Blast. Nobody's talking about Blast right now, but we know there's an airdrop coming in a couple months. And so you can be on there and you don't have to have a lot of capital, but you can farm and you can, earn Blast Gold and Blast points. And that is going to be able to let you get a piece of the pie of the airdrop that's coming. And like you want to in a sense stay ahead of what everybody's talking about on Twitter. And part of the reasons why cabals or your own private group or whatever it is helps is that you kind of get to see what people are. Look, I think about it this way: if your timeline or your For You page is algorithmically sorting information and feeding it to you, and that's being sorted based on popularity, right? Then your group chats and what people are talking about is human sorting. It's people that you know that find things interesting and are presenting it to you saying, hey, I found this could be cool. and then you start to see patterns. They're like, oh, a few of my group chats are all talking about this, but I don't see it on my timeline yet. Is this alpha? That's your alpha right there. That's the alpha. The alpha is like the space between. It's like this is what the level of what everybody's talking about until it gets to the point where it's up here, right? And everybody's talking about it. In this space, that's the opportunity, right? And it's literally like a graph. It's like, okay, let me invest into it now because I think it could get here. And if you are right, then you win and you get upsized returns. That's the game. That's the game you should be playing. There's a lot of different ways to play the game. But
yeah, we've been talking like briefly now, but guys, do your research on runes, please, before they drop. It's good if you know
when
what
are they
they
dropping?
are. They're dropping at the halvening, which it's supposed to be around April 20, 420. So you have some time. You have a month. Let's say you have 30 days. Do your research, learn about this, because a lot of people are waiting for this, and there's going to be a lot of liquidity that is going to this stuff. I hear it in every back room ever. People are just brewing like with this runes.
In the back rooms. There you go, guys. Live from the back rooms.
This is the alpha I can give you. Blast is another thing. And we're going to talk more about these things in the next weeks for sure, and give you a little bit more context and information.
Yeah. And if ETH NFTs, there's opportunities, that's our backyard. We can talk
Well,
about
I remember I made some money like a couple of months ago, 2-3 months ago. I think I was flipping like Ethereum puppets. They kind of pump for a bit, and it was a legit opportunity. So I feel like it just depends. There might be, an opportunity on ETH, like a collection that it's just, people start liking it and people go buy it.
Yeah.
It can happen. It's not impossible. We've seen it also with Nakamigos, where Nakamigos were like in the middle of the bear. There's like nobody cared that much anymore, but then this collection, everybody wanted one. So it can happen.
Matt's saying derivatives are not alpha. I was going to say
no, we talked about that already.
Well, by definition, derivatives are beta, but can you make money on betas? Yes.
100%.
Yes, you can. Guys, that's our show for this week. Join our Discord if you haven't already, because we're going to have more opportunities. Maybe is in New York. I will be in New York as well for NFT NYC. That's in a couple of weeks. So I will see you guys. If anybody is going, I will see you guys there. Any parting thoughts, maybe?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right.
See you in New York if you come to New York. And anyway, see you next week on the show.
With that, we'll see you guys next time. Au revoir.